Hey guys, Vern. Today we're going to cover a few topics that I've been thinking about, so we're going to do a walk and talk. Let's check it out.
Hey, Vern.
All right, hey guys. So today's walk and talk, we're walking through, I want to say it right, Selchuck is the best way I've heard it said. Now, what I did is I took a bus from Selchuck into Kushadasi, and it turned out that I needed to take a bus back home. And I was talking to a couple gals. One was from England, and the other was from, I think, Ireland. And as I was talking to them, I told them where I was and what I was looking for, a bus back. And so the gal says, oh, there's a bus back. Before I could look at the name on the thing, I got the bus. Well, needless to say, it was also a town that sounded just like Selchuck, but it wasn't Selchuck. And I spent 25 minutes riding that bus to the end. And he said, you're here? And I said, no, I'm not here. And he wanted some more money. And I said, are you sure? And he says, I told him, hey, I'm in the wrong area. And he says, okay. So I didn't have to pay, luckily, but yeah, that's real frustrating. A lot of the letters here do not sound at all like you would be used to saying them in your own native tongue, and that's really goofed me up. And to think that there's two towns that sound almost identical right in the same area, that's my dumb luck. Oh, here's a tractor. So he wants to go right here. Okay. So that was today's wild ride. Riding the bus back. I had two classes scheduled, one for 3:30 and one for 4 to tutor online. And of course, my iPhone locked up and I couldn't get a signal to cancel the first class. And I said, if I miss that second class, then I'm just going to stop tutoring. I mean, take that as a sign that it's time to stop. And luckily I got there within 10 minutes to spare, and the internet did work. So it is what it is. Just one of them crazy weeks. All right, so I'm going to show you they have some fresh fruit out here. Let's check this out. All right, so this is some fruit just lying on the road. Not sure if this is squash or some kind of a gourd or a different kind of a watermelon, because they have watermelon over here also. So that's kind of interesting. So this part of town I hadn't been to. I hadn't been to most of this town, but we'll just walk through and do a little talk. So the second thing I want to talk about is internet. When I came to Istanbul, I thought, well, hopefully I can get good internet. So I bought a SIM card and I bought an Apple iPhone just to use as a hotspot. One of the phones that I had that was repaired that I brought here went bad again, and it had my Philippine SIM in it. And so my Philippine SIM card was completely unusable by the time I got here. And there was no way I could get that SIM to work on roaming on another phone once it was already outside of the country. So I don't know. Maybe there's a trick, but I just don't know it. So anyway, so I get to Turkey. I get to my hotel. The internet's okay, and then it goes worse, and then it gets bad, and then it's just total trash. And nothing they can do, right? So I go to use my YouTube, and it asks for a code that it's going to send to my Philippine SIM. Well, of course, my phone is broken that had the Philippine SIM that was on roaming before I left, and that wasn't going to work. So I wasn't going to get the code, and I was locked out of the YouTube channel for 2 days. And what I just happened to do is I opened up my iPad, and my iPad and my computer I used together to make my thumbnails, and the computer to download the internet. And so it sent a code to my iPad, which didn't matter what country I was in. And so luckily I was able to get the code from there and open up my YouTube channel. So when you come to these foreign countries, if you can have like roaming on a phone set up for a month, international roaming, do it. And the reason is you're going to get a code at some point from your bank or wherever. It's going to say, we don't recognize you being in this area. Please enter a code. And so without that code, you're pretty much going to be hurting. And oftentimes you'll need it for sending some kind of money if you try to do a transaction from your bank to somewhere else. So it gets to be a real drag. But once you're set up, you're okay till the next country if you're traveling. So beware of that. Now, what I also did is I discovered to go down to the internet cafe to upload my videos. Now, uploading the videos was not a really great experience because even though I was in Istanbul, the internet was still not that great. Good download speeds and poor upload speed. The speeds would be download maybe 15 and then upload it would be maybe 2. And so I would try to upload my video and it would crash because it wouldn't be enough speed to kick it into the system. And I remember one day I had a 10-minute video and I kicked it out and I was working on that 10-minute video for 4 hours. And so by the time I edited the video and spent 4 hours putting it out, the internet was still so bad it wouldn't load it. So I had to go back another day. So it's been a real challenge trying to find good internet. Now, this town that I just came to, the internet here is so poor. They have really high download speeds. One place was up to 50, but then the upload speed was only 0.75, not even 1. And there's no way my video would upload. So I talked to the guys and he's like, you need to go to the next town over. And so I went over to Kushadasi. And Kushadasi, I was told, had the fiber internet. So I get to Kushadasi. They do a lot of the internet games at this internet cafe. Now, you would think they would have the best internet possible. And they had 50 download with only 7 upload, which really blew my mind. You're on fiber, and that's the highest plan that he has for that area. And he told me, he said, Turkey internet is not so good. Now, people complain about the Philippine internet, but at least you can get a really good plan. And he was telling me that was the best plan that he was able to get. Is that true? I don't know. But it's not really exciting to get internet that's that poor. Now, when I had bought a SIM through Turkcell, at one point in Istanbul, I was getting 5 up and 5 download on my SIM card when I was using it. My phone is a hotspot. So that is an option. But if you need dedicated internet, maybe you need your own line and maybe you'd be okay. I don't know. It's hard to say. There really isn't a standard that I'm able to come up with yet. And like I said, it's hard to find people that speak English to really get into an in-depth conversation over something that needs to be understood completely. All right, so the next one is English speaking. Now, one person had said, well, I don't see anybody else asking about English speakers and having a problem. Well, I'm thinking due to COVID, a lot of the people are either on vacation or not working the normal jobs that they would normally work. For example, one guy I was talking to, he works on a cruise ship and he was working the internet in Selçuk at an internet cafe. Now, normally he would be on a cruise ship out of Kushadasi. That's a big cruise site where the cruise ships dock. Now, the other thing that I've discovered is it is on the Mediterranean. On the coastal sides of Turkey is where most of the foreigners will go. And because of the foreigners, you're going to find a lot more English speakers. So if you need English spoken, you're going to have a lot better time going to some of the coastal towns. But even then, with COVID, a lot of the people are gone already. So that probably has eliminated a lot of the jobs at the same time. And being a lot of the people that would normally speak English may be at home because they didn't have work this time of year because of the tourism being gone. So I think this is an abnormal time to be in, trying to expect a normal Turkey and normal economy and normal normal. So that's kind of what I'm finding being here. So another thing, because the internet is a little sketchy here, Aaron and I both had problems with our GPS acting correctly in areas with tall buildings. It was hard to get a correct signal to orient properly throughout a lot of different areas. Now, one phone I had was better than the other, but just take in mind, not all of the internet in different areas is as strong as in some of the other areas. A building can shield your connection and you're walking a couple blocks out of your way, so it can be kind of a hassle. But overall, it's a good place to come see. I think if you could see the Mediterranean, how beautiful it is and how nice the homes are, I think a lot of people would come here. You might still have some issues with the language. I don't know that it's going to be a huge barrier in the towns that cater to the tourists when the tourism is on, but in off season it might be a little bit different. So things to consider, but they have everything here. They really do. It's got the best of the best. I haven't seen anything that was really poorly done here. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're just gonna walk and talk a little bit more. So this is just a little part of Selçuk, which is very close to the old ruins of Ephesus. And I'm gonna be going there in a few days and vlogging it out. I still have some old content that I wanna get up, things that I've done the past few days. Being that my internet was so poor, it's just kind of gonna take a little bit of time to get it back up since I'm backlogged. But it'll happen. The hardest thing for me moving to any new area is trying to get established, get a new norm, get used to what's here. Here's some cats if you like cats. Bunch of cats. So it's real pretty here. Now, they say this town that I'm in, Selçuk, is a big retirement town. And one guy said, a lot of old people come here to die. He said the cemetery's totally full. He says there's no room for any more people to die here. Whether that's totally true, I don't know. But it's very quiet. It's very peaceful here. And I will say that I had probably the most peaceful night that I had in about 5 years sleeping here last night. It was as quiet as you could get. And I'm in a hotel not too far from the mosque. And even the mosque was quiet. So that was quite astounding. So anyway, anything you want, you can find here. Pretty put together country. So anyway, it's kind of some funky little old 70s cars, 80s cars around here, which is kind of fun. I don't get to see too many old cars in the Philippines. They seem to be roached out by the time I want to see them. Anyway, a lot of Mercedes here. Tons of Mercedes. So there has to be some money in this place. I'm seeing really high-end cars. Saw a couple old cars today. One was in Kushadasi, and it must have been like 50s, 60s Plymouth, early 60s if it was 60s. Had some fins on the back, so maybe 59, 58. So this is kind of a real small town here. I think the population, I don't want to even guess. I don't know what it is. I'll tell you when I know what it is. Anyway, this is not the showy part of town. It's just kind of off of the center, a little bit away from my hotel. I just wanted to walk and vlog. Wasn't really looking for anything pretty. Just wanted a place that wasn't in the direct sun that would affect my video. So that's it. Things are good. Food's fairly inexpensive here. It's not a lot of money. I'm in a hotel now for 30 nights. It's called the Ephesus Palace, and it's about 375, 345. I'll have to do a little vlog out on it soon. Little tennis court there, basketball court. Back to the watermelons. So just had those few things to talk about today. I'm just gonna walk along. Get an idea. You know, I've seen a lot of tractors here. A lot of really good old tractors too. If you're into tractors, here you go. Never heard of a Universal. It's kind of different. Seen a lot of old Ford tractors. There's another, here's an old, what is this one? Farm track. Never heard of a farm track. Maybe you guys have. It's kind of fun to see the old tractors still working. You know, they built these things so damn good. Last forever, you take care of them. And that's the way a good tool should be, right? He's got his own little trailer there. Whether it's store-bought, I don't know. Or homemade. All right. We got one more tractor. Seems to be a bunch of tractors here. They're doing some work. Let's see what else we got. Oh, New Holland. There we go. He's got a, it's like a boom sprayer, some type, some kind of sprayer on that. All right. So that's it for this quick vlog. Just head back to the hotel now.